So, hello everyone. First of all, please tell me if you hear me well. And also tell me if you hear my guest, Melzhet, well. You can say something, Melzhet.
Hello, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. Please chat tell if you hear well both, or maybe if I need to make us louder. Bump up Melzhet volume a bit low Melzhet. Melzhet louder, okay. Okay, I'm working on it. Can you say something again, Melzhet, please?
Hello, thanks for inviting me, and I hope this will be an interesting interview.
Is this better now, guys? Good, perfect. Okay, so we can start. So before we start, I already introduced the guest, but I will do this once again. For some of you, he's an alchemist. For the other group of you, he is like the Mourinho of League of Legends. But for all the community, he is just the coach of Melhzet. Hello, Melzhet. Good to have you there.
Hello.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you on the huge success that you achieved in such a short period of time. That's really impressive from my point of view. So yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you. We didn't still achieve anything because we didn't win, but
I know you didn't win actually, but still, such a young roster without LEC veterans in a winter final already, for me it's impressive. I know you didn't win, but still, you made something insane in my opinion. Okay, and my first question will be about you. When did you exactly know that you will be promoted to LEC team? Was it like very early or maybe almost at the end of the Marketo? And also, did you consider any other options than Melhzet?
I knew almost at the end of the Masters that it will be high probabilities that I will join the LEC team, and I was discussing with several teams during the market for a long period. So yes, I had other options. I'm not sure if I can talk about those ones.
Okay. But was
Yes,
there any
but
other
yes,
LEC option?
yes.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly the number, but I will say like maybe four teams or something like that.
Okay, 4 teams. So you had offers. But I assume that Melhzet was most interesting from your point of view.
Yeah, it was what made more sense for me because we were in Movistar Riders. We knew the people that will join there, and it was I think the team that gave me more control over what to do in the roster. Like other options were more, yes, you can bring these players, but these ones we prefer the other ones. So actually to build this exact roster, Mad Lions was the only option.
I understand it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, next question will be also about the Marketo and about one specific transfer that you made. A lot of people were very surprised or sometimes even confused that you bring Fresskowy to the team as a new mid laner. Could you tell us what was the main reason that you chose this guy? Of course, I don't want to suggest with this question that it was a bad decision because during the winter he definitely shown that he is on LEC level. But of course, a lot of people had a lot of doubts about this move. Yeah?
Yep, I know. I mean, there is there is several reasons why I bring Fresskowy. For me, the most important one is I knew his potential. I knew that didn't show because a lot of things that went in his mind during this year, and his resolving, or he already has the ability to show how good he is without the pressure affecting him or other factors. And also is the hardest worker I know in terms of player. Is the player that has the more strict routine, that he never skips. He's willing to do whatever he needs to do in order to win. So I really like that too. And the last reason is because I was looking for a mid laner that fitted well in the roster, because for me the three more important pieces in the roster was the bot lane and Elyoya. And with this bot lane and Elyoya that plays very aggressively, a mid laner that can not always get the resources, that also sacrifice his resources in order to put all the elites in other parts of the map, it would be nice. And also with Myrwn, that I took both, it will make a super good combination, because both of them can play a lot of champions and they could flex in both lanes, and I think that's really important advantage that you can have in draft.
Okay, thank you for that answer. What else? Right now, we have like some break between the splits. And did you already start working for the spring split with the team, or maybe you let some your players some rest? And if you have a break, when you will start working on it?
Now they have a break. I mean, me as a coach, I'm not fully working, but I already starting thinking what I need to do for the next split. But as a team and actually doing scrims, it will start in 29th of February, because we have content to record before.
Okay, so you will start in 6 days, yeah, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, 6 days, more or less, yes.
Okay, so now we might move to the beginning of the winter, and my question is: were you stressed before your LEC debut? Were you like more emotional than usual, or rather calm? It doesn't matter for you that much.
I was calm. I had the same feeling as maybe in a finals or an event that I'm playing in front of public or in a stage. But it's a nice feeling. It's not like I'm nervous or stressed. It's like I'm excited to play here.
Okay.
And it's more competitive than, playing from your office or home, in real. So it was a good experience, but I was not nervous at all, because I knew that we were good already and we have a good base and we could win. I was expecting a 3-0, to be honest, but it was a 2-1, but it's not far away. But
Okay, I got some suggestion from the chat that your mic is doing some weird noises sometimes.
okay, sorry, it's new headset, so I don't know why.
Okay, but just I guess they understand you.
Okay, tell me if it happens again.
Okay, chat.
No.
If Melzhet mic won't work properly, just type it, yeah. Okay, so next one will be, I heard that you are very demanding from the players. Like, do you give them any specific task during the season maybe, or during this break that they have? Can you say something more about it?
Of course, during the season, I'm tracking everything that they are doing. I try to tell them what I want in terms of picks, in terms of game style, gameplay, or or even mentally. But I have a psychologist that we work with, and in off-season it depends. Before the season started in winter, yes, they have like kinda a specific plan for come prepared. But these days, because we were the team that played the most this winter, I want them to rest if it's possible, and then when we go back, we have enough time to recover and put them in the right form. So usually I do, but when they need to rest, I know that they need to rest, and I
Okay, okay.
don't want to board them too early.
Okay, so you give them time to rest. Okay, I understand it. Next thing will be about drafting, actually. How much to say do you give your players during the drafts? Because as community, I would say we heard many times about many types of communication during them. Like sometimes coach have like full or almost full power there, but sometimes players can say a lot about it. How does it look in MDK?
I mean, at the end of the day, the final call is mine, but I'm always open to suggestions or how they. It's interesting for me how they see the draft and what pick they want, and then I adapt to them too. Because in drafting, yes, there is a theory that you can win or lose a draft in terms of this console win or whatever. But at the end, the most important thing is the execution. So I want the player being comfortable or understanding the idea behind the draft. If not, makes no sense.
Okay, and who during the draft is suggesting most options besides you, if you can tell?
I think Myrwn Elyoya, probably.
Okay, Myrwn, Elyoya. Okay, and maybe do you have any favorite draft from this split of your team?
I think the first one into G2,
First
the
one.
finals.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Next question will be, is there any coach at League of Legends who you consider as role model, for example? And if so, who and why?
Not really, because
Not
I
really.
think it's really hard to know what they do exactly. I mean, you can see that there is some good coaches there, but you don't know exactly how they work. So it's hard to me to have a role model or no. But of course, the most successful one is Coma, but I have no clue. How he
Yeah,
works.
indeed. So not only viewers don't know how coaches work. You
Yeah.
don't know also about the others. Okay.
I mean, I hear from players, what some of them does, but like sometimes players are biased in a bad or positive way. So
Indeed.
I
For
yeah.
example, I heard a lot of good things about you from the community, yeah? But it was the Spanish one, so for sure they praised you. But I just want to know why they praise you.
Yep.
Okay, so next question will be strict about you. What sets you apart as a coach? Because as I said, many people from Spanish community that I thanks of course told me a lot of great things about you during the season, before the season. But however, we as viewers have the least information about the work of a coach, and it's really difficult to evaluate your work.
I mean, I think probably game knowledge, but I am trying to be a 360 coach. So I touch everything like motivation, mental, gameplay, structure. So right now, I will still say game knowledge
Okay, game
and
knowledge.
how I can help them individually, not only as a team. Like not only doing reviews. I can help any role in a really high level. So I will say that, but I'm fine with in every aspect of coaching.
Okay, I understand it. Oh, now I realized one question because in the past we had something like positional coaches that was becoming really popular in the LEC, if you remember it. And what do you think about this role overall? Is this a useful one or just some fake role that shouldn't exist? Because right now I think we don't hear much about something like positional coach. But like 1 year or 2 years ago, we had like half of LEC with positional coaches, as far as I remember.
Yeah, because I mean I think it's a really good role, but I don't think there is enough competent people right now to work on that.
Okay.
But the ideal would be one coach per player, I will say.
Could you repeat the last sentence?
Yeah, yeah. The idea will be one coach per player,
Okay.
if that will be possible.
Okay, thank you. Next one will be if you could describe in few words the biggest strength of current MDK players, one by one.
Okay.
Like you can start from Myrwn to the...
Yeah, I will do top to bot.
Yeah,
Is the
perfect,
issue.
perfect.
Myrwn, I will say his creativity and how fast he learns. Joya, how smart he is in game. I think he sees the game in a really deep way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's a really hard worker, so both of them are the strengths. Fresskowy, how hard he works and how disciplined he is, and also how much he's willing to do in order to win. It's also in game and outside the game.
Okay.
Supa, I will say his hunger to improve and his. I know that people think Supa is really he has a big ego, but in reality, in the day by day work, he's humble and he tries to improve every time, and he's really open to criticism. And Alvaro, I will say like his talent is really talent guy, and really nice person that helps to the team outside the game a lot.
Okay, thank you. I think when you talked about Supa ego, we have, in my opinion, a lot of players that have way higher ego than Supa actually. So I don't think he's even close to them. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
What were your expectations before winter? Did you have any minimum plan, for example, something like that?
I mean, my expectation was create a really good basis on game. But of course, my objective is always win. So I'm happy with the split. Not in terms of results, because I will never happy if I don't win. But I think we achieved my objective for the team, that it's having a decent base that now we can work and improve a lot from here.
Okay, thank you. And what did you learn in the winter as a coach, as a team?
I mean, all the process that are new. Now I understand how to do it more efficient and then use the time way better.
Okay. So, what was or what is the greatest strength and the greatest weakness of your current team?
That we are fearless to try new things in game and outside the game. And the biggest weaknesses, I would say, like we still need a lot of work to do in several areas, because this is at the end of the day, this is something new. And as always, if something is new, there is new problems that you don't know exactly how to solve, but I will figure it out.
Okay. And you said you are fearless as a team, and that's your greatest strength. And according to this, I think you are one of the most flexible teams in LEC. That's, I think, more than sure. And how important is the flexibility in current League of Legends? Are flexible teams like you or G2? Uh, uh, is this the key for success in our league?
Not necessarily. I will say like the case, the depends what success looks to you. If it's just doing it fine, I think having a less flexible style, or like with more rules, will lead you to succeed. It's like kind of being in solo queue one trick pony. I think you will understand way better the matchups and the games,
Yeah.
or more deeper. But I think in long term is easier that people knows how you play, what you play, and it's easier to win into you. So I think in long term it's better to be a flexible team. I think in short term can be even better being a team that is more strict or more tight in the things that you can do.
Okay, wait. Myrwn typed to me that there is one stupid guy typing in my chat. What?
Huh?
Myrwn typed to me randomly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mods, can you ban this guy? Because Myrwn apparently. Wait a second, I will ban him if I can. Because looks like my Twitch chat became really weird. So give me a second.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Didn't expect Myrwn modding my Twitch chat. Okay, thank you, Myrwn. Okay, so according to the drafts also, we have pretty interesting case in EU because in our region, duo bot like Lucian-Nami, Lucian-Milio is not working. What's the reason for that in your opinion? Because as far as I remember, in Mad Lions Co you played it once maybe or twice max. But also other teams tried it and in most cases it definitely didn't work.
I think it's related what is required to play data in a high level, and I think people doesn't play it well at all. And it's like when you have a high mechanical champion that is strong, but you need to invest a lot of hours. Like let's say that Riven now appears on top and is super OP. It's a champion that you need to put a lot of hours, and also in this case, as a team, you need to put a lot of hours and understand very well how it works, and then it can be really effective. And I think it's probably not it was one of the most OP lanes in the game. I mean, now that it's Senna and all of that stuff, I think it's that. But again, it requires to play really well around them and with them, and I think teams are not good enough to do that.
Okay. So are you going to try more of this duo in Spring Split as a team? Do you think?
If it's strong, yes, but I'm not sure if it's going to be the strongest bowling.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and now question about the season. Which team was, in your opinion, the hardest to play against and the easiest from your point of view, and why, actually?
I mean, the hardest for sure G2.
Yeah, but maybe, besides G2, because it's the obvious one.
Okay, besides G2, I would say Fnatic. I think they are a pretty strong team individually. I mean, can be also maybe because we didn't play into BDS with Adam, maybe BDS could be stronger, but I was also knowing what to expect from BDS, and I was very chill because I think they played almost in every role 2-3 champions and a specific style.
Yes.
So they were more predictable, and I think Fnatic, have that edge because they have humanoid scanning that can play, or rather that can play whatever, and they have really, really strong top side of the map. And the easiest one, I mean, there is teams like Rogue and Kakor that we only play once.
Sure,
so those ones were easy, but it's only one game, so.
Yeah, but game versus K-Corp was pretty interesting as far as I remember.
I mean, I was really chill in this game, not gonna lie. So,
really? Okay.
Yes. Because I knew that Aphelios will turbo scale the enemy comp, and we were in a fine spot, so I was turbo chill. But yeah, maybe then Rogue, but I don't know, a small simple fight.
Yeah, but from my viewer point of view, this game looked like really shaky. But if you were chill, it's okay. Maybe I don't remember it that well also, yeah?
No, I mean, it's my feeling, I can be really chill, and maybe it looks harder from outside, I don't know. Hearing the comms and everything, I was super chill that game.
Yeah, but also when I see you in LEC broadcast, you are pretty often calm. Yeah, not many emotions from your face or from reaction.
Not outside, but inside, there is a lot of things happening in those moments. Actually, yeah, actually Heretics, no? Is the easiest one because we have the thumb. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I see chat. Heretics game was easy. Someone is typing.
Yeah. Yeah. Eletics for sure.
Okay, next question will be about the scrims in LEC. What do you
Mhm.
think about them? Because many times we heard that they can deviate a lot from being professional. Is this still a case?
I mean, I heard worse things than I actually experienced. So maybe it's better now that they to like pull out this problem. Or I think teams. I mean, besides some FF and remakes asking and redraft, they didn't cancel me a single screen. Like I did every day 6 games. So I'm happy with that. But I would say like I don't think teams are using a screen in a good way, and they give a lot of info. I will say, and I think they give more info than they should to the rivals.
Okay. Was there maybe any team that was destroying you on scrims, but on stage it was totally different team? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we have bad win rate in scrims
Okay.
because we try a lot of things and also we hide a lot of things. Like we don't want to.
Show everything.
Yeah, like let's say that I have an ADC that plays really well Draven, but usually it's banned. I won't play Draven in scrims. Like even though I can get wins on that, or maybe there is a champion that helps me to practice some specific area of the game that I want the player to practice, even though it's not his best champ, I will do it. And all of this leads to sometimes losing more skins that you should. But in terms of that, I will say like Giants gave us really hard times in screens. Like we were thinking that they were better than they went at the end of the split, but
Okay.
in the best of three, it was easy, to play into them. So I don't know, maybe Giants. I would say like this the biggest difference.
Okay. Wait a second. Mm, because I wanted to ask about something else. How often, forfeit happens during the scrims? Like, is
Mm,
this like really common or like really rare thing?
I mean, some teams is for some teams is more common, for others is not common at all. But
Okay.
usually, uh, something that is funny to me is teams usually ask for remake or FF when they are losing, not when they are hard winning. Like if you do because we have the politics of never, like FF or remake or whatever.
Oh, that's pretty.
So for example, if we troll one early game, like the Botlane dies 2v2, or we did a city in bed, like, and that kind of is a remake game angle.
Yeah,
They never ask for a remake, because they are winning. But when you actually kill them in every lane,
they are asking.
they ask for the remake.
Okay.
So for me, I think there's a bit of hypocrisy in the teams. Like, okay, you want to remake because you think this is not useful for you because it's not something that is likely to happen in an official game. But then when you are hard winning because some random thing why you don't want to remake either, like so.
Yeah.
I think that's why I think remakes are bullshit in terms
Yeah, I think it's a bad
of
habit
games.
remaking this such a
I
things.
think it could be a very useful tool if the the goal actually was, okay, let's make this more like an official game. And, if something weird happens, we just remake. But if you are hard winning in a weird way and you're still fine with that, then it's not that you want to remake because of that. You want to remake because you want to win. And if
Yeah.
you're thinking on winning screens, then for me, you have a really bad mindset.
Yeah, I totally agree. But also you as Mad Lions Koi can scream with the academy, yeah? And that might
Yeah.
be an advantage because you might hide some picks and also you might train it with kinda competitive environment, let's say, yeah?
I mean, yes, but for example, in this split, we need to think about it because it was not possible to do it.
Okay.
Because calendar, we play 3 days that they are actually screaming. So we are playing competitive, they are screaming. We have 1 free day, and then after that free day that we scream again, they are in competition too. And then
Okay.
when they have this free day, is when we scream. So it was really never a day that we match together.
Okay.
So we couldn't scream the academy, this split. And we need to figure it out how to do it, because something that I want is to help the academy to grow. So I need to figure it out how to do this.
Yeah, maybe in spring it will be easier because EMEA Masters will come, and I don't
Yeah,
exactly
maybe.
know what's the score of your academy right now, but it depends
They
if
are
they
second.
qualify or not. Also, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we suppose that they won't qualify, it might be way easier. But if they
Mm-hmm.
qualify, it might be like again hard, kind of.
Maybe it's easier because like the schedule is different in Mia Masters. So I hope that there is a moment to screen them and help them to grow for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, what's next? Could you tell us what your week at Mad Lions Koi usually looks like from the organizational perspective? Like
Yeah.
apart from the scrims, for what do you pay special attention as a team?
I mean, we have like some meetings that we talk about everything, not only about leagues. Like if they are having problems, outside the game or in Berlin, because it's a new city for them, besides Joya. So they can express whatever they think or how they feel if they are struggling with something, and then we can bring them help. Let's say, like groceries, like if they are having problems to find out what's healthy for them or
Yeah,
good for them, we have our chef that helps them to do that or solve those problems. And also, we have staff meetings that we talk about the problems of the teams or what we need, or we also organize the content that you need to record or activations with sponsors. So all of that. And besides that, like it also depends on how the split is going. Maybe you need to have more talks or in-game or just, okay, we are struggling with this mid-game. Let's review some of our games and also compare to other teams how we can improve or what we can get from them to apply our style. So it's different, but in terms of the structure, I would say kind of that. Meetings that it helps to keep the things on the track.
okay, thank you. Okay, next question will be about your project and future of LEC, let's say. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
that uh, you or your project or EY project, how to say it, hard to say for me, will be a guide for other teams in LEC to create such a things in the future? Do you think Steam will take more risk with their roster after how your winter season looked like? Like I mean, top two already in the first split.
I mean, I hope so that happens. I'm not sure if that will happen because, in my experience, the people who hire players, they are scared of taking risk.
Can imagine.
So it's weird, and maybe they think, like this is something special that is not going to repeat it again, or like I don't know exactly how they work. If I was in that position, for sure I will try to replicate this more often. Maybe you don't need to do it this extreme, like for rookies
Yeah, maybe
and
not for rookies.
rookie coach. But for sure, I think Jackis is another example of this. No, like I don't think Jackis performed bad, even though he didn't play in LPL or LVP or or German
Yeah, indeed, Jackis was okay.
ERL. I think Jackis for sure is a succeed in how he played and how he performed, and probably he's going to grow even more this split. So I will take the risk, but I'm not sure if people is willing to do it. But I think it's something that I hope in the future it happens more often, because I think it's going to help the region to grow. Because if you are so chill that nobody's going to take your spot, then you can just, okay, I'm chilling, I'm doing shit every year, and I'm fine. But if actually people is promoting and demoting players, I think they will, to work his ass to, okay, I don't want to get benched or I don't want to get replaced, so I will work harder.
Yeah, I agree with you because it's legit insane that Mad Lions Koi, for example, team with 4 rookies already secured top 2 in winter. Another thing is Jackis that was totally fine in his first split in Elyoya. So why teams shouldn't risk like you or like Giant X?
I mean, I think they should. I think sometimes it's going to fail, of course, but
Yeah, of
you
course.
also go that with experienced players, like, or someone is going to tell me that Perks is performing well now. Okay, it's a risk either, like you can think, okay, Perks was so success in the past that maybe he comes back to his level, no? But that's a risk too, because if it doesn't happen, then it looks like it.
Yeah, indeed. And teams are taking over and over the same players, and they are just not improving anymore because they probably picked like some time ago.
Yep.
So yeah, next question might be a bit controversial, but I think
Okay.
I'm really interesting about your perspective on this topic because before the series against BDS, we got the statement from the BDS that they are benching Adam. Don't want to talk about details here, what happened and all this stuff, but let's suppose that something like this happened in Mad Lions Koi, and you have also in next week some important series, yeah, let's say like semi-final or something like this, and you have a brawl in team between player X and player Y, or between player X and you. Would you do the same thing as striker, or maybe what would you do in this case?
I mean, it's really hard to answer this because I don't have all the info. Only a striker and their staff player knows it.
Yeah,
So I
of
don't
course.
know how. I mean, if it was that big of a problem or no. So I don't know because for me it's something weird of this situation is like he's most likely going to play again in the spring.
Most likely, yes, yeah.
So maybe it's not that. It was not that big, like because I figured it out. If I'm kicking someone before the semifinals, I'm kicking that guy from the team already. Like
Yeah, I
you're
know
not
what
going
you
to
mean.
come back. So like for me, it's weird. So I'm assuming that if the striker is doing this, is because with the info that he has, it's worth it to bench it this split because maybe also they didn't think that they can win G2. I don't know also about that, because if
Yeah,
you think
maybe.
that you cannot win into G2, I think this can be positive, no? Like, because if you cut this behavior right now, it's not going to impact the next split. But again, I don't know how big it was because for me, if I'm benching a player for one important series, I'm benching him for the rest of the year.
Okay, I get. Like,
But again, like it's so hard to answer with all the info.
yeah, it's
But
really
for sure,
hard to
I
answer.
think he did well. For sure, I think a striker is a coach that when he does something is because he has reasons to do it. So probably it's going to be a good move because maybe Adam now is more aware of his behavior and it's going to help them to grow better in the future.
Maybe, yeah, but on the other hand, maybe with Adam they could be even more dangerous towards you, yeah, in the series. Like, let's be honest, Adam was like probably the most important part of this team, in my opinion, at least.
Okay. I
So,
mean, not for me, but
okay,
I mean,
maybe.
what Adam brings is his champion pool and counter pick, which I think is obviously a huge impact. But in terms of gameplay, I don't see Adam. It was the most important guy in the team.
Okay, so we
To be
have
honest.
other perspective on it.
Yeah,
But
I think Lavrov is more important than Adam.
okay, for
I
me,
think if you
Adam.
take away Lavrov, BDS get fucked. So
Okay. For me, Adam is just the key factor in the close series that can change the game with one play, and that's what other team miss,
okay,
for example.
maybe. I mean, again, everyone has his
Yeah,
opinion,
of
so
course, yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay, let's move on. Next question will be about kinda about the final
Yep.
because yeah, we all know you lost, yeah. you won a map. And the question is, how far are you from G2 right now as MDK? And the second question, can MDK or any other team in the league can actually catch G2 in the spring split? Is this possible?
I think we are far still. I think we have a lot of room to improve. I think we can catch them for sure, but it's not going to be easy because again, they are a team that were playing for 1 year or 2 years almost. I don't remember exactly the time, but they are a more mature team, or because besides that, I have 3 guys that were working with me from a lot of time. 2 of them didn't, and I think it's important that every player is in the same page. So I think till we achieve that, we are far away from G2, and also in terms of gameplay, we still need to be more disciplined, I will say.
That's for sure.
Because, for example, with Supa, that fit in the Varus game, we could play around it and win that game, or make it way harder for G2. But also because missed positions, or because we didn't play around him that well, we got punished so much. So
it was game 3, yeah?
Game 4,
Game
when
4.
Supa was 8-0 with Varus.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Whole G2 was, like moving on Supa, and the rest of the team couldn't actually play. Yeah, I remember that Broken Blade zoned from Exp Myrwn like crazy.
Yep. So I think we need to be more disciplined and more mature in that aspect. And yeah, it looks like it's art details, or like you think it's easier to do it, but actually those things are the hardest to change.
Okay. What I wanted to ask, give me a second, because I had one question about it. Who is the closest to Mad Lions Koi from the other teams? Like, like you are top 2 right now, yeah, in the league. D2 is by far top 1, you are top 2. And who among the remaining team is the closest to your spot, let's say, in your opinion?
Fnatic BDS.
Fnatic BDS, okay.
Both of them. Yeah. I think then it's a gap between the teams.
I agree, most likely, yeah. Especially with Heretics in such a disposition. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Okay, so...
And SK looked strong during the split, but the players, they didn't look that strong, so it's weird for me. SK.
Yeah,
I
agree.
don't know how to rate them.
I expected like a lot after regular from SK. I thought they will be, like even better than Mad Lions Koi, but they downgraded like crazy for some reason. Okay, next question. Did any of the teams in LEC surprise you in any positive or negative way? Like, besides your team? Like maybe...
in a negative way, I would say Rogue, because I think as players, all of them are good, and I think they perform really, really poorly. And in a positive way, BTS for sure, because I didn't expect them to perform that well.
Okay, so I think we have pretty similar point of view on it. And about Heretics, did they disappoint you, or you expected such a result?
I mean, I expected them to don't play well at all, because for me that team makes no sense in how it was built.
Okay. Next question will be, how do you deal with the losses or with the games that on paper you should have easy win, let's say from the draft or from the how early game looks, but for some reason, let's say you made as a team some mistakes, the game is ending way harder than it should. How do you deal with such a game's losses?
I don't mind at all about those games in terms of if we fucked up in terms of gameplay, and because we lack knowledge, then I'm totally fine with that, because it's just, okay, this is a great opportunity to actually fill those gaps and help us grow. But for example, if we are not going with the right intensity because we think this team is going to be free win or whatever, then I take it very badly, because for me it's not acceptable that you don't respect the rival or you don't give your 100% all the time.
Okay, and does the players react some more on the games that they lost? For example, the game from regular against Giantex that on paper should be like in big favorite for Mad Lions Koi, and you lost it as far as I remember.
Yeah, I mean that game to me, I knew that they were playing a new comp.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was not that we didn't have that much practice on it, but I think if we have it, I was not that sure, how it will look like in an official game. But
Okay.
anyway, for me the problem is like we didn't try it. Because, for example, if we played the same comp into Giant X and we fucked up because we are actually engaging and we had the position and we actually engaged and we fucked up in the engage or we fucked up with the flanks or whatever, I don't care at all because that's the opportunity to learn. But my problem with that game is like we were not being decisive or we were not engaging.
Okay.
Or we were not the ones proposing. That's the problem, the big problem for me. And I remember that I spoke to them like this is not acceptable. I don't give a fuck if we go and we all of us die and we look like bronzes, or the people tell us that we are iron team. But not trying and losing for me is the big problem.
Yeah, this comp was like really, really interesting from the viewer's point of view, and yeah, I think comp like this need a really, really good execution. Yeah, but if it works, it's really rewarding. Yeah. So if you
but I don't mind the execution is bad, but I want the team to try it.
Yeah, of course, especially when you can, advance to the next stage and you have like official game to try. I think it's kind of worth.
Yes.
And you are most likely one of the 2-3 teams that is trying such a different comps. Yeah, like who else is trying something like this? Like you, G2, and maybe Vitality sometimes when they try something on mid. And
maybe.
Yeah. I don't see other teams trying such. Don't know if weird is a correct word, but the comps.
Yep.
So next question. Yeah, you came from ERL, from LVP actually, and do you see any difference between ERLs and LEC from your perspective, or rather no?
I mean, yes. I think the structure of the teams are quite different. I think the players also are way different in terms of ego, gameplay, and all of that.
Okay.
But I don't think. I think the level in general is higher, but it's not as high as it should be. I will say.
Yeah,
That's
I think you proved that the level between ERL and LEC is not like big, the difference, because you legit took 4 players from ERL in this year, yeah. So you legit proved that the level is almost not existing, yeah, we can say.
I mean, the top teams in
the
ERL,
top teams, yeah, of course. I'm not talking about bottom of ERLs, but the best teams in ERLs are as good as some LEC teams, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Okay, next question will be, because as MDK, I think you played most games in this split. And what do you think about the current format in LEC? Is this good, or what things would you change there, actually?
I mean, it depends what your goals are. For sure, to develop players, it's not the best format because everything is so fast. Even though we got the bigger amount of games, I wouldn't say like it's the idealist thing to work with the players in long term. But at the same time, you can also sacrifice, one split or whatever. It's not my style, but it's actually something that you can do because winter is not that much important besides MSI and everything. But if you perform in split and summer, you're totally chill.
Yeah.
But for the people who is watching in home, for sure this is exciting because every game matters. So I think it's a good format. but of course it depends. If your goal is to develop players, for sure it's better formats like best of three, like in LCK or LPL.
Okay, so you would prefer BO3s already in the first phase, for example?
I mean, if my goal is develop players, sure.
Yeah.
But what I want is the esport is actually alive. So if this is what people pref, the spectators and everything, I'm totally chill with this. I
Okay.
want this.
And people said a lot times to me that as a coach you prefer a longer series, like BO5 is your comfort zone, they said to me. Do you agree with such a statement?
Are way more fun for me, yes. But it's like I don't mind. The best of one for me is kind of practice.
Okay.
So with that mindset, I don't mind that much.
Okay, next thing will be about one thing that I got informed about, and one Spanish guy said to me that you are recommending a book called The Five Rings to your players.
Yeah.
Is this true?
I mean, it's not recommended. I actually force them to
Ah, you
read
forced
it.
them. Okay,
But yes,
okay.
yes,
So can you
yes,
tell
it's
more
true.
about it? Actually, why actually this book?
I mean, I read a lot of books, and this
Okay.
one is one of my favorite ones. I think it's pretty short, like it's 100 pages,
Oh,
more or
so yeah.
less. And I think it helps you to, if you actually think about it and you make an effort to understand what is being said in the book, I think it helps a lot to have a different perspective on how you approach life and this style of competition.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question will be chill, because you are not really active on your social media, yeah? And
Mm-hmm.
can you tell us what's the reason? Like you don't like to spam there, type there, or some other reason? Like you work too much, maybe,
Um,
or you just don't
I,
care about.
I don't care too much about fame or social media in general. I don't think that I'm that interested, as a person to be posting perma. But actually, I realize like sometimes it's good to have few words because when you lose or you win, people usually want to know your reflections or a bit of your reflections on it.
Yeah.
And I try to give more to the community because they are supporting us and they are making an effort. So I'm trying to give them back that. But again, uh, I'm just a League of Legends freak, so I don't have much
Yeah,
to say,
I got it.
to be honest.
Okay. Also, I got one more thing that in Spain people are pretty often comparing you to Mourinho, the coach, yeah, the ex-Chelsea coach, the
Yeah.
special one. And do you like this
Yes.
comparison or not really? And do you have something common with him? Do you think?
I mean, it's not like I like it or I dislike it.
Okay.
For me, it's a nonsense, to be honest. Like, professional coaches are insane, like compared to us in esports. So I I don't have the audacity to compare myself with those great coaches. But at the same time, like I learned some things from Mourinho, I learned some things from Guardiola, but I don't think our styles are turbo close. I think probably I have more in common in day by day with Guardiola than Mourinho, but I like it, because all of them are coaches that I respect. But again, I think I'm not even close to them as coach.
Okay, okay, I got it. And one more question that I have right now in my mind. How important in current League of Legends is drafting in your opinion? Like, do you actually believe that by draft you can win already the series, the game, or it's not that easy? What's your perspective on it?
I think the draft is really important, but not in the way that people think it is. Um, I think people focus a lot, and with this, I mean a lot, in the theory, and they actually don't think who's the guy playing it and versus the guy who you are playing. So I think it's something that you should pay a lot of attention. But at the same time, when people say, "Oh, this team won the draft," or "This team lose the draft," or "This draft makes no sense," then you need to actually understand why it happened. And sometimes it's good. Like it's like matchups in League of Legends. You know, like when you're playing certain matchup, it's not the same that I will say two names. You know, like Caps and Fresskowy are playing it, and Chovy and Showmaker.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
completely different game. So again, I think people talk about draft like they actually understand everything about it, and I don't think they do. So again, it's a tricky question, and what matters the most at the end of the day with this, what I mean is the execution. And again, doesn't matter if you are a really bad team and the other team is a really good team. Doesn't matter how good you draft, you're going to get fucked, probably.
Yeah,
At least
because
in a best of 5, and you know, like in a best of 1, you always have the edge.
yeah, because it's like right now it's a really common thing that people are typing draft div, draft div, draft div. Yeah, and
Yeah,
everything is a draft div
yeah,
before even the game started. Yeah, but
yep. Again, it's like people think one matchup is counter matchup, and then the other guy just throw it, and it's but the matchup shouldn't go like this. Yeah, but maybe the coach knows that it's going to be like this because he saw his player, he knows versus who he's playing, and can be like this.
yeah,
Well,
exactly. Okay, so I think now we can move to the chat questions, if you don't mind. We can take some. So chat, if you have some interesting questions for Melzhet, feel free to type them. I will just check. Maybe they already typed something.
mhm.
But it's also a lot of Spanish chat. Guys, I don't understand Spanish. Just saying, yeah. Ask him about heretics, please. Like his Melzhet, some thoughts about heretics that you have.
I think they are a pretty good organization. I think they build the roster in not my favorite way.
I can agree.
Um, but again, I think eventually in the future they are going to prove that they are a great organization and they will do it well.
Okay. Wait a second.
Mhm.
Do you think esports in the Western world is more like a show than a sport? Show than a sport. Oh, okay, something like this. El Ignio asking.
No, I think it's an esport. I think we lack professionalization, guys, because again, this is an esport that is like for around 13 years, 14 years, 15, that much. I mean, we cannot compare to football, basketball, or whatever that they have also several process before someone joins in a professional environment. They are in the inferior teams and they learn a lot about discipline, how to do things, and it's not the case for esports. So it's normal that we are not as professional as they are.
Okay. Greetings from Argentina. We already talked about positional coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Melzhet, have you visualized yet how would your scrim approach be against Asian teams? Okay. Not get baited by fake info, leak your meta read, etc.
Yes, of course. I mean, I am actually doing it in 12C too, and trying to perfect it because again, as I said, I think LEC teams are giving too much info in scrims, and I don't want to be another team doing that. But also at the same time, you want to improve and you want to practice your things. So I'm actually seeing the way that you can do that at the same time that you don't reveal too much info. So I'm trying to improve on that.
Okay. Do you try new strategies or new picks screaming with the academy team? He already said that he didn't scream in winter. So, not this question. Do you think that Elyoya improved his gameplay lastly in these playoffs? That's the question for you from CEOs.
yes, I think he improved, but I think he's far away still from his potential or peak performance. But again, I'm not in a hurry with that. When it's going to matter the most is in summer. So again, this sprint is really important because I want to go N5, of course. But the most important tournament and when it's we need to focus in season finals that you actually compete for the real LEC worlds.
Okay, Mike Moon asking, Melzhet, how far you think that Mad Lions Koi are from winning worlds? How many years you think you will catch your goal?
Okay, this is a hard question,
Yeah.
and I will compare it like when I don't know how much people here trying to make a project like a movie, video game or whatever. You always have your idea of the time, and then it's add 2-3 years more to that. So I hope we start competing well in 2025.
Okay.
But again, and take this like with caution, might take more years to be actually to be able to compete versus them because we need to see how this team develops. If we need to change something, if we need to add more stuff, like it's going to be a long process. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is like we are trying to achieve that goal and we push the region towards that goal, like not only G2, because I feel like from a long time, G2 is the only one who's trying to achieve that. So I think that makes the region weak, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can agree. Oh, that's the good question, I think. Helicopter 123. How appeared the name Melzhet and what does it mean actually? Yeah. I mean,
Okay. it's just from a manga that I read.
okay.
That it was different, the name. Like it was something like Melches or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And what I did is trying to take that name and change letters a bit and
Okay.
find out which one makes more sense for me and is this name. Because I wanted something that if you look for it in internet or whatever, it's something unique, like it's not going to appear anything else.
Okay. That's really interesting, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is your main specific focus for the spring split? Mr. Lager asking.
Okay, for this split, it was working in early game. We needed to change that because I think we were having way bigger problems in mid game. So I changed the pathing. So I hope this spring actually can go way more deeper in early game and then achieve a early game that I am happy with. And then in summer work again deep in mid game and then be a really, really good team for the finals and worlds.
I hope you will, because I really hope that someone will contest G2. So I'm praying for that actually, because that might be a bit boring if no one will catch them, yeah?
We will.
I
Don't worry.
really hope so. I don't know if you want to answer on such a question, but I will try. Who do you think is the
Okay.
best EU jungler currently? Don't know if you want to. Like, let's
I
suppose that
mean,
you can't say Elyoya.
I think Razork
Okay,
is the best right now.
I agree with you totally. How are you working on discipline with the team? Things like Supa stopping the back alone or Myrwn getting caught for overextending a bit.
Mm-hmm.
How are you working on this?
I mean, at the end of the day, is trying to understand why it's happening, and then you try to help them to improve their process, and it comes in a natural way. Of course, if it's related to focus or other aspects, then you work on that because there is ways to improve your focus span or your confidence, or if in that moment you are tilting, all of that.
Okay. Do you think playing 14 games in 3 days made the team more strong in a way to get used to playing stage?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the more you play, the better you are in long term. But of course, for the short term, it's going to affect your performance because I feel also that in the finals, and I'm not using this as an excuse. I think G2 is trying out better team than us. I didn't feel that we have that much energy compared to other days. So I think also is something that is problematic in short term.
Oh, actually, one more from me, because do you actually believe that something like, this position of the day exists in esport, or you think that if you work properly as a team, as a coach, you can have like almost always similar disposition of certain player?
I think it's hard because again the progression and the level is not linear, but you need to try to work in the process that you make sure that it's likely that happens.
Okay. What was the weakest point of the team in winter by Eder04?
Again, I think I said it is we need to be more disciplined in certain areas of the game and be better to translate the advantage that we have and not throw it. Because it happens sometimes that we are having such a huge lead in early game. It happened into G2 the first game even. And then we do a really bad play and they come back, So
Yeah.
I think we need to cut those windows.
What do you think about G2 showing the scrim results and scheme? Were you planning to do the same? I don't know if you are familiar with this, but the Romeo, the GM of G2, shown this. What do you think about
Yeah.
something like this?
I think in a way, for what G2 wants to do is positive. I think for us makes no sense. I think it's positive because G2 is almost winning every single scrim, right? So what they want to achieve, or from what I understand, like reading the the surface that what they are saying is they want to have better quality of scrims, no? So kinda, if you're exposing all the teams, like I think into us they have 6-0 or 6-0, 6-0, and like if we were a team that actually care about that, like we will say, oh, we scrim into G2, we need to do it well, we need to win games into them, so we don't look that bad as bad, in media, and that's what they want to achieve. So for me, it makes a lot of sense what they are doing. To me, I don't care because, as I said, I think I don't want to be a team that, because I want to win and look good in versus G2, I actually show in them, because, for example, a pick that they got caught off guard is the Yasuo. That will never happen if I actually try to win those scrims so badly.
Okay.
Because that was my start into TF because they were prioritizing a lot. And for example, what we tried into them and didn't happen is Daddy top. But I didn't think it was such a good pick as yours, So again, it's
What
trying to
top?
find the balance. Aritop into
Aritop.
TF.
AT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Myrwn special. Yeah. I
Yes.
was waiting for
Yes.
it in this split, but it didn't come yet. But maybe it will come in spring. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe let's see, but it's, you need to understand the balance of that. But I think from what G2 wants to do, it's totally reasonable that they are exposing people. So maybe they try hard more into them and
That's
they
good.
bring the practice that they want.
Because G2 needs to, try to do something because they are far away from any other team so far. So maybe they are trying to make it even on screen like a competitive or close to competitive. So yeah,
Exactly.
that makes sense in my opinion. Yeah. Are you exhausted after the winter? Actually, how do you spend the free time right now?
No. I mean, I'm not exhausted. I'm a guy that are perma working always. So to me, it's the beginning of the year, I'm not even close to being exhausted.
Okay.
Maybe at the end of the year, I will be.
Okay, I think that will be all. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Wait. What does he think about Oscar underperformed due to his strong side playstyle? Don't know if you want to answer on it, but maybe.
Again, I think Oscar is a really good player. I think he needs to keep growing. His potential is tremendous, but again, I don't have all the info. Like I don't know what's going on, why he underperformed. But I think he will be, if not the best, one of the best top laners in Europe in the future. I mean, the rest will be Myrwn because he's with me, of course. But I hope that he's going to be the second.
Okay. And who do you think actually is the best right now from top laners?
I mean, right now I will say like Broken Blade deserved it, no? Like he did in such a good performance in the finals. But also I think Irrelevant looked super strong
Yes, agree.
due to the context. So maybe Irrelevant is better than BB, but I need to see both of them, you know, like at the same time to give you a 100, because right now who won is BB, so you need to give credit to him, you know, he was MVP of the finals,
Yeah.
he did really well, but maybe Relevant is better again. I don't think I will disagree, you know, like if someone is telling me no, I think it's Relevant.
And what do you think about Adam as a top laner?
I think he...
Do you value him
right now
high
is
or
nice.
not really?
Not really.
Okay.
Because I think it's really positive that someone is bringing huge picks to the competition, but also I think right now the meta is good for him. But when he can get really impacted by the meta, in my opinion, right now.
But for my point of view, I think he changed also a bit as a player in this split.
Yeah. I mean, of course he's growing. You know, like he tried to play more.
He was
I
playing
mean, in the scrims,
Cassante, you know, Rumbles.
yeah,
That was
again,
something rare, in my opinion.
but he doesn't perform that well. You know, like in his pick.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think that will be all. Yeah, I asked all. We asked questions from the chat, so thank you for accepting my invitation. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you.
I wish you all the best in upcoming split. I hope you will catch G2 in spring split already, because I would like to see this league like super competitive, not only second place fight, also the first place. So yeah, I really hope. I'm hyped for your project. I mean overall for this project. So I will be, you know, watching it and be hyped for upcoming split.
Thank you very much. We are going to work as hard as we can to achieve that.
Yeah, maybe you have something to say at the end to Matkoi fans, because I'm pretty sure we have some. So
yep,
you can even in Spanish if you want.
No, I mean, I will say it in English.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of interviews already saying this in Spanish.
Okay.
Can be also Matkoi fans that are actually not Spanish, and they deserve it too. I'm really happy that with all the support that you are giving to us. Is the first time in my career that we have this kind of support, and feels great. But also apologize because we didn't win, and you deserve it, a team that wins everything. And we are going to keep working to give you that, because I know how much effort you are putting on moving to Berlin to support us, or using your time that you could be using with your family or with your friends to watch your games. So I am very grateful with that. So I hope we give you the result that you deserve.
Okay, I think we can end there.